Hello and welcome to the third episode of A Head Full of Coldplay, the podcast where music meets memories and Coldplay becomes more than just a band. Here we dive into the real stories of fans from all around the world and learn how they first heard Coldplay, the songs that hit them right in the heart, and the times when Chris, Johnny, Guy, and Will felt like famous musicians and more like friends walking beside us. Whether you have been listening since Parachutes or only recently stumbled upon Yellow, this podcast is all about celebrating the comfort, hope, and connection that Coldplay's music brings into our lives. I'm your host, Ayush Sharma, and I'm thrilled to be joined by my awesome co host and fellow Coldplayer, Asha Denney, all the way from the UK. Okay.
Hi.
Hi. So, our third guest in this podcast series is Hayley St. James from New York, who is a playwright and writes theater productions. Apart from that, she is a record collector and also the admin of Coldplay Discord. So, if you were kicked out of the Coldplay community on Discord, Hayley might be responsible for that. So, moreover, she also calls herself a Bono impersonator, a talent that I personally would love to see. But above all, it's her love for Coldplay that truly stands out. A passion so genuine that it's made her one of the most cherished voices in the Coldplay community. So we welcome Hayley to this podcast.
Oh, thank you very much. My pronouns are they, them, by the way, but I accept any and all pronouns. It's totally okay.
Um,
I promise I have not banned that many people from the server. I promise. I love everybody on that server deeply, deeply. I care about this community so
um,
much. The
um,
entire extended world, family to me.
Amazing, Haley.
Thrilled to be here.
I would like to, start this conversation by a very cliched kind of question, but it is very important to know that, how you came to know Coldplay. So, how did you first encounter Coldplay's music? Can you take us back to the very first time you heard a Coldplay song? Was it a moment of chance on the radio or at a concert, or did someone introduce you to them?
I'd say, oh well, for me, it was 17 years ago, as of a few weeks ago, which is crazy that I can know to the date when Coldplay truly entered my life. I was like vaguely aware of them before then, because I don't know, they had the Clocks was in the Peter Pan trailer in 2003, and I loved that movie. And I don't know, I think Weird Al did a parrot, at least did included Speed of Sound in one of his polkas, and I was a big Weird Al kid. But it was Viva La Vida, the premiere of that song changed the entire course of my life. It was the week after my bat mitzvah, so I was 13 and a half, and I was watching American Idol with my family, as you did in the late 2000s. And during the commercials, there was an ad for iTunes, and they had the ad for Viva La Vida, the song, with the band kind of silhouette, and they're like there's kind of like paint splashing everywhere, and it's this gorgeous, gorgeous ad. And I heard this song for the first time, and it was like, what is this song? Who is this band? Oh, it's Coldplay? I think I've heard of them. I think I need to listen to them. And that kind of just changed my entire life. It's one song changed everything, and I don't think I've ever looked back. Viva La Vida was the first CD I bought with my own money. I brought it to summer camp that year, and I think it was the only CD I was allowed to bring. Because we were allowed one book, one CD, whatever, and I just played it nonstop. And then that summer, that album, Viva La Vida, became my coming of age. That entire 2008 was pretty much entirely just run by that album for me, and I owe it everything.
What was the first Coldplay song or album that truly made you a fan? Was there a particular track or album that captured your heart and made you want to dive deeper into the music? What was it about the lyrics, sound, or emotion of that first favorite that left such a strong impression on you?
Well, I mean, the Viva of it all, of course, the title track was always going to be the one that changed everything for me. But I'd say every album since, there's always been at least one or two tracks that have completely captured me. I think Chris is secretly one of the best lyricists of all time. I think a lot of people give him a lot of crap for his writing. They think he's a little, hokey, a little, narmy, I don't know. I think he's a genius. I think he's a real poet. He understands like what captures the human heart and spirit so well. And I think every album has like one true standout moment of beauty. But since Viva was my first, obviously it's Viva there. And then going into Milo, which was kind of maybe the first album I remember actually like being part of like the launch era for, like actually following the release and all the hype. And for me, I remember sneaking off during Spanish class in high school to go to the bathroom and find videos of the band debuting new songs at festivals. And the two that I was the most obsessed with before the album came out were Charlie Brown and Major Minus, just because they didn't sound like anything Coldplay had done before. And I still adore those songs. I mean, Charlie Brown's always amazing live. It's such a just the song makes you feel like you're free. It's just you want to go run around and do parkour and have the best time ever. And then Major Minus is just so awesome and honestly, frankly, has Johnny's best solo, Don't At Me. I mean, in a whole career of amazing solos, I think Major Minus is just stunning. It's a very timely song too. But yeah, and then as the eras kept going on, every album I at least find at least one song I truly, truly love and hold on to. I think right now for me the two big ones for me right now are Coloratura and Jupiter. Coloratura is the apex of everything Coldplay have ever done. It is a perfect song. It is 10 minutes of what Coldplay truly are. And frankly, that's the song that I tell newbies to listen to first and foremost. And Jupiter's just very important to me because Chris kind of dedicated it to me, which is a very that story. Yeah, in 2003, in Seattle, the night before the Seattle show, Coldplay Extra was having a meetup, and a bunch of the fans were all just chilling at the Hard Rock Cafe, hanging out, whatever, just hanging out, eating drinks, eating, drinking, good time. And then Chris and Phil walk in and just hang out with us. And Chris is just sitting at the table right next to me and just talking to everybody like he's known everybody forever, kind of having almost a round table discussion, just answering folks' questions. And I thanked Chris for being so kind and caring so much about the LGBTQ community, and he kind of dedicated Jupiter to me, which is before it even came out, before we really even knew what it was. He just said it was, gonna be more pride than people of the pride, and yeah, it's very, very, very grateful for that song. It's Pride Month. Everybody stream Jupiter and people of the pride.
Amazing, amazing. Now, you have told, about what Coldplay actually means to you. But, when did you realize Coldplay was more than just another band to you? Can you describe the moment you realized, their music had moved from being something you simply enjoyed to something that truly mattered?
Oh, yeah. I'd say for me, it was absolutely over the pandemic into 2021 and moving back to New York. Because Coldplay had been my favorite band since I was 13 and a half. But on, becoming an adult, moving to New York for college and just, actually having an actual life and being able to do adult things like buy concert tickets with your own money, there was just something about new album coming out exactly when I needed it. So in 2019, when Everyday Life came out, it was like, wait, Coldplay are back and they're doing something really unique and cool and great. Oh, I think I'm gonna get back into them. And it just kind of went from there. And then when the pandemic happened, Coldplay really just became my one just lifeline. It was one of the true things getting me through everything, music in general, but Coldplay specifically, and the community, and spending time with everybody online, and just sharing this band together, and clowning, waiting for news for the next album because all we had was the 5 months of everyday life content to go off of. Was really it just felt like such a interconnected family that entire year into 2021, and moving back to New York in 2021, and first full week I was back here, three promo shows, getting to spend time with dear, dear friends and getting to meet the band for the first time. And just everything just kind of felt like a fan fiction in the in the wildest possible way. I take nothing for granted. It's just crazy, but I think it was moving back to New York and realizing, hey, this is something I want to do with my life, and like not just be a fan, but be a part of a community as a career. And I think, yeah, so 2021 for me, I think was when I think it was really sealed for me that Coldplay and the Coldplay community is my life.
Which Coldplay song or album holds the most personal meaning for you and why? Is there a song or an album that feels like it was written just for you? Maybe it's your experiences, emotions, or a chapter of your life. Tell us why that particular piece of the music continues to resonate with you deeply.
Ah, yeah, I mean, yet again, it's jumping between Jupiter and People of the Pride because it's so nice that Coldplay are a band that cares so much about the LGBTQ community. It's just so nice that the biggest band in the world cares so much about people who just want to live their lives and love who they love and be who they are. And just getting that sense of care from the biggest band is just I, I can't believe that they've done that. It's just so wonderful. They're just amazing allies, and I love those songs deeply. I mean, when in 2021 at one of those promo shows at the Apollo, that was when they debuted People of the Pride. And being in that space, it felt like fate. It was like, of course, I was going to be there when Coldplay debuted their Pride song. Like, it was unreal. And I'm still so grateful. And I thanked Chris after that show, and he was just so sweet about it. God, we're so lucky to have a band that loves their community. I just can never get over it. I'm repeating myself, but I can't help it. I have just so much love and respect for these guys. They care so much about everybody. Every individual person matters, and I love that so much. So yeah, I mean, it's the obvious answers, but I love those songs deeply. I mean, my top 10 Coldplay songs haven't really changed all that much in the past couple years, but it's nice to have constants because they're pretty damn amazing songs.
Amazing. Now, now you have talked about, what certain songs or albums, of Coldplay mean to you. But, has Coldplay's music ever helped you through a difficult time, whether it was, grief, heartbreak, uncertainty, or even just a lonely light? Has there been a moment when Coldplay's music felt like a lifeline? And, which songs or lyrics offered you the comfort or a sense of healing, and how did they impact you?
God, this is incredibly timely, but literally just this past October, this past year, my mom was diagnosed with cancer, and she's been on chemo since October. And the timing was insane. Moon Music dropped like 2 days after she had her initial surgery, and I had to go home to Boston where I grew up to check in on her and get her, make sure she was doing okay the week the album dropped. And having new music at literally the first time in my life where, someone who like really like not the first time, but first time someone this close, like my mother, it just having the album and knowing that the band were dropping music just when I needed it. I mean, the time when they've always dropped music when I needed this was like a sign from truly the cosmos that the band actually are looking out for me in a weird kind of way. And getting to have that album and celebrate it with the community truly is what got me through that week, that initial week of, oh my God, did the surgery work? Is she going to need more? Is she going to need chemo? Is she going to need more chemo? We don't know. But having this album to hold on to, just, I it just, I cannot believe the synchronicity of that. And that weekend, or it was right after, they did a secret show in Williamsburg here in Brooklyn. And me and a ton of my friends who didn't win tickets, we all camped outside the venue to see if maybe they'd let us in. And after 10 hours of waiting, they did actually miraculously let us in. And getting to just spend a few hours with our favorite band, just a bunch of us together right after I just went through maybe the hardest week of my life, was truly healing. Like that night healed me. And I'm very, very, very grateful to the band and Sirius and whoever the higher powers that be managed to let that happen. I think it was probably one of the most truly, truly healing times in my life. So I love Moon Music. I think it's going to be a permanent top three Coldplay album for me simply because of how much it helped me cope with my mom. And she's doing okay. She's still on chemo. Um, but I think about her every day, and I'm going to always associate Moon Music with her. I'm also going to always associate Joe Panic with her just because. I think that song's getting me through a lot of it right now too.
Are there any personal memories or milestones forever tied to a Coldplay song? Do certain songs instantly transport you to a specific moment, falling in love, a bittersweet goodbye, or major life change? We'd love to hear the story behind those memories and the songs that are now part of them.
Ooh, that's a really good question. I mean, there's always at least one Coldplay song that gets me through any moment, things that definitely have very core memories for me. I mean, that summer of 2008 with Viva, I always associate with walking around Nantucket, the island off the coast of Massachusetts, with my family. 'Cause I used to go there every summer. Haven't gone really since the summer of 2008, but that summer I just would put Viva on my little blue iPod mini and just walk around the island. And that album always feels like that summer to me. I mean, everyday life's always going to remind me of the pandemic and the community that I really, truly felt even more a part of, even since 2008. I'm always gonna, associate my first Coldplay concert was 2009 on Viva Tour, and I'm always gonna think about, getting to hear Glass of Water and 42 and Cemeteries of London live. So anytime I hear those songs, I think about 2009 and my first live Coldplay concert. Everyday Life title track when I got to be at the debut at SNL, which was pretty fun. So I'm always going to think about, going to that and camping out for 24 hours to get it on standby and hearing a new song debut. Oh, there's so many. Like, I mean, being in the fandom for as long as I have, there's always going to be a song that fits the right moment. I mean, Coloratura, like having a Zoom party with a ton of people when the song dropped and everybody going completely crazy when they realized, oh my God, it's 10 minutes. Oh my God. Whoa, this is insane. It was crazy. Just that whole summer, like all of 2021, like the entire Music of the Spheres promo cycle is just such a core memory. Like it all blurs together for me, but it's just the power of the community really. I mean, every era it feels like that. I was only really not super in the fandom in 2015, 16, 17. Because I was had a lot of stuff going on, mostly college and dealing with mental health stuff. I wish I was more into the band during Head Full of Dreams. I love Birds. Birds is one of my top five favorite Coldplay songs. I love that song. I think about it a lot. I mean, I listened to it a lot in 2023 actually, just because I don't know, it just was fitting my mind at the time. But yeah, there truly is a Coldplay song for every moment in my life, and I love that.
Amazing. Now,
When was the first time you saw Coldplay live, and what was that experience like?
Ooh, 2000, yeah, 2009 Viva La Vida tour, Mansfield, Massachusetts at the Comcast Center. That was my second ever concert. My first was a few weeks before. It was Billy Joel and Elton John at Gillette Stadium. I'll be back there in a few weeks for Coldplay on this tour. But that first Viva tour, the first Viva concert for me, that was absolutely amazing. I mean, I don't know how lucky I had it just getting that set list. We don't get set lists that full of deep cuts and it was so cool. I mean, getting to see my favorite band live for the first time. I mean, you never forget your first Coldplay concert. It was really, really neat. I mean, I still have a bunch of the butterfly confetti still in my childhood bedroom, like just hung up on the wall. I still have the t-shirt I bought at that show. I still have the copy of Left, Right, Left that they gave me at the end of the show. I remember because I was 14 years old. I thought that that was only my second concert. I thought every concert gave you a free CD after. I still wish they did that. I mean, I think it would be cool if Coldplay kept doing that, but I'm always gonna have that memory. I mean, still having that Left, Right, Left CD is pretty special. That's my favorite live album too. So yeah, 2009, good times.
amazing. Now, you talked about the first concert, but what emotions ran through you as the band took the stage? Were there any unforgettable moments like, when your favorite song, they sang your favorite song?
I mean, it was 2009, so Viva La Vida obviously was, hallmark of the set list because that's the album. So getting to see that live for the first time was pretty special. I wish I took more photos. I don't know, I didn't really have a phone camera at the time because, it was 2009. I don't think I had an iPod, an iPhone until probably 2011, I don't think. No, maybe 2010. I think it might have been a year later. Yeah. But I wish I took more photos. I definitely took more photos at my Milo concert in 2012, but even then I think those were on a regular camera. And I don't even know where that camera is anymore. But I mean, back then I didn't take nearly as many photos just because I wanted to experience the show. Now it's like a mix of I like to get photos, but also I just love to be in the venue and enjoy the community and enjoy the music and just share the experience with everyone. I mean, I know when Chris says during Sky Full of Stars, and they have to stop it during every show, and it's like, there's tons of these videos online already, and I completely sympathize. Every show is just a chance to enjoy the band. I love taking photos and videos, but just getting to spend quality time with the band and just enjoy the music. I think that's the best thing about a Coldplay show, more than even just the visuals and getting good shots.
Yeah, I remember when so I attended the Abu Dhabi concert this time, and also
Oh, amazing.
all the concerts that happened in India. So I remembered, when every time Chris said that, you have to put your phones down in your pocket, and because A Sky Full of Stars was going to happen, and every single time I put my phone in the pocket, meanwhile all my friends
Good.
recorded it and have
Okay,
all the
good for
amazing
you.
videos. But I'm like, okay, I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it. I mean, see, I wanted to enjoy the music. I wanted to enjoy the presence of people. So I just enjoyed that moment. You know what? And I savored it for my entire life. So, and
Yeah.
this was like amazing for me as well, because in 1 month I attended 5 concerts, and it was like a
Oh,
very
I've been there. I have been there. Yeah, 2022. I did 6 of the 12 US shows that year, and I did 4 of the 6 Wembley shows. I will never be able to do anything like that ever again. I'm very glad I got to. I mean, at that point, I was just working nonstop to save up to be able to afford to travel with the band. I mean, every year I try to at least see them at least once, twice if I'm lucky. Last year I didn't think was even going to happen at all, but then by some miracle, kind people who I don't even know how, but I ended up going to Athens to see them. They flew me out. The entire trip was just a gift, and that was crazy. So 48 hours in Athens, got to hear the first listen of "Feels Like I'm Falling in Love" with Phil, which is pretty crazy. Still had the same set list, my show, but I'm not complaining. Just getting to enjoy another international Coldplay concert was a gift. It was so much fun. Um, and then the promo show in Brooklyn that got me through my mom's chemo. I mean, this year is going to be interesting because I'm going to Toronto and Boston and London. And 2 of those are international for me. So that's going to be interesting. I haven't, I've never been to Toronto. I'm doing a road trip with my friends. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. And London is my favorite place in the world. I'm so excited to go back to Wembley. I'm only going to one Wembley show. I, I I'm happy I even just get to be there. I don't care where I am in the venue. I'm just being at Wembley. Wembley is one of my 2 favorite venues in the entire world. Coldplay, please play Sphere. Please play Sphere. They gotta play the Sphere. But Wembley's my favorite, and just getting to be at least at one of those last 10 shows is gonna be really special.
amazing. Even I wanted to attend the Wembley shows, but
Yeah, no, that
I
that
mean,
pre-sale
I
was
mean,
a
like,
bloodbath.
yeah. I mean, I didn't get the India tickets on the first try. I got the India tickets when I attended the Abu Dhabi show, and the next day I booked the
Hmm.
India tickets, and I was like, okay, I got it. And that
Yeah.
time was very, very like it felt like adrenaline running through my veins. I mean,
Yep.
I
Oh
I
no, I know the
I
feeling.
went to Abu Dhabi. I landed in Delhi on 15th. I then packed my bags, went to Mumbai on 19th, attended the concerts, then came back to Delhi for 1 day, and then went back to Ahmedabad to attend all 4 concerts. And I was like,
Yeah.
my parents were like, I mean, they were like, "Hey, what happened to you? Are you ever coming home back?" So I'm like, okay, no, I will, but after all of this.
Yep.
So, but it was
Yeah.
such an amazing moment for me, and I hope that Ash is here, Hayley, you, and all the people who are attending the Coldplay concerts in Wembley, at Wembley or Hull. I hope that they enjoy to the fullest and they get to make beautiful memories out of all these. But coming back to the podcast, so I have a last of couple of questions.
Mhm.
Now,
Yeah.
has your love for Coldplay led you to new friendships or community connections? Now you are the admin of Coldplay Discord, so that is a very big responsibility. But you are a fan as well. Being a fan often leads to finding a family beyond blood. So you must have met friends, partners, or even formed online communities thanks to your love for Coldplay. So tell us about the relationships that have blossomed because of this shared passion.
There's too many people to name. Like I literally have lost count of how many wonderful people I've gotten to meet through this band. I mean, my oldest internet friend was my first Coldplay friend. That's my dear friend Brooke, who I'm going to Toronto with. I've known Brooke since 2008 on the Coldplaying forums, and we both ended up at the Comcast Center show in 2009. And ever since then, we've been really, 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 really good friends. There's too many people. I mean, everybody I've gotten to meet through, Coldplay Twitter. I miss everybody on Coldplay Twitter. Hi, Coldplay Twitter. I love you. I miss you. And obviously, now that I'm more permanently on Coldplay Discord, um, you know, just always just being an active of every the community on Discord is so interesting because I feel like it kind of flows. Like there's not a ton of overlap between the other social medias, but at the same time, when there is, it's just kind of nice to see who comes in and out. People join for our events. We do live streams. We had our Q&A with Phil last year, which was one of the greatest experiences of my life. Cannot believe that we got to do that. That was absolutely, we love you, Phil. Um, just everybody I've gotten to meet through this band is someone I love deeply. I genuinely have nothing but love for this community. They're truly, I mean, there's really only two music fandoms that I'm like super duper active in, and Coldplay have been the one that's basically been over half my entire life. And the other one, I mean, I'm kind of crazy. I got into U2, my other favorite band, through one for that, because now I have two bands I absolutely love and bands that love each other. Um, I've gotten to talk to Chris about his love of U2, which was kind of crazy. Um, I don't know. I just think that they should collab someday. I love that there's so much overlap between Coldplay and U2, just as artists, as people, as human beings, but also just the communities. I feel like there's a level of kindness and community that's so strong. I mean, obviously U2 and have an extra 20 years on Coldplay, so it's just, I mean, and they're both kind of legacy bands at this point. I mean, Coldplay and U2 are both making new music. It's just they're both, multi-generational acts. So getting to really follow both bands at the same time when they're both doing things is really, really nice. I mean, it's kind of crazy. I never really had more than one absolute all-time favorite band before, and now I have two, and I can't imagine my life without either of them. So, yeah, I love the Coldplay community. They are the best people in the whole world, and I can't wait every time I get to travel and go to gigs and make friends. It's just adding more branches to the giant family tree that we call the Coldplay community. And I'm very, very grateful.
Amazing, amazing. Now, the last question, Haley, is, which era of Coldplay's music resonates with you the most and why? From the, raw intimacy of parachutes, the sweeping anthems of a rush of blood to the wonderful experimental sound of Viva La Vida or the haunting beauty of ghost stories. Each album, marks a very different chapter of Coldplay's music. But which Coldplay era speaks to you most deeply?
Ooh, it's hard because they all really do. I mean, I've loved this band since Viva. Viva's obviously going to be the obvious answer about myself, and that was my first concert I went to solo, and that was really special. Ghost Stories was literally there for my first breakup, so it's kind of always been the go-to breakup album for me, even though I haven't really needed to worry about that for a while. I don't know, but I'm just very, very glad every album's come when I did. Everyday Life got me through the end of college into my, adult life. Music of the Spheres got me through the pandemic. Moon Music's gotten me through my mom's chemo. They're all so important to me. I really can't pick just one. It's the whole career. This band truly have something for every moment in my life. So I really can't pick one. I mean, obviously it's Viva. Viva's been my album since it came out. Like that's the one people have think of always associated with me. But yeah, it's all of them. I really can't just pick one, even though Viva would be the obvious choice. I think it's all of them. It really is.
Amazing. Now, thank you so much, Haley, for giving us your time. It was such a nice conversation and very intimate kind of conversation with you, where you shared your experiences with the band, and you shared how they helped you. So thank you so much for sharing these anecdotes, these stories with us. And I hope and we pray for your mother's recovery, and we hope that good things happen to you and your family. So thank you so much
Thank
for
you.
joining us.